Hello and welcome to the Robo Samurai channel, and today I will be reviewing the Kingdom War for Cybertron trilogy, Rhinox. This I picked up, you know what, I forgot where I picked this one up. And these guys here, these are not part of the review, and that's a review. That's something coming for the review later. Anyway, let's take a look at this box, I guess. So here's the box. There's some kind of UPC thing. Maybe I got this from Big Bad Toy Store or something like that. I don't remember anymore. That's okay. So here's the product shot on the back. You got all the cool stuff. This. Let's see here. Did it come with one of those cool foil cards? I don't even remember. It probably did. I've got a stack of those things over here, and just to show you guys, here's my spread of all of these cards. I got an Arc, a Dinobot, an Arc, an Autobot Arc, another Dinobot, an Optimus Prime, another Arc, another Autobot Arc, a Dinobot, one Megatron, yep, one Megatron, another Autobot Arc, another Autobot Arc. Lots of stickers here. And yeah, there's stuff underneath it, but usually it's just the Arc underneath it. So I've got lots of the Arc. So, lucky me. Anyway, I don't know which one of these actually came with him, but that's what these guys look like. And they're rando packed. So what can I say? Let's go on and take a look at his figure. Actually, so I'm going to let you guys know right off the top, I was not a big Beast Wars fan, so... but I did pick this up because eventually I did grow to like Beast Wars. So these little guys here are his, I believe. So these are the machine guns. I think they're like chain guns, and I think that they're shorter than they used to be in the maybe the original toy or the animation had them in a slightly different way. But that's all I see is this. So these guys do peg into his hand here, and they kind of just they look flat. I guess I didn't even look up like what this figure's original accessories are supposed to look like, but that's it here. So now there is a place to store this in beast mode. I'll show that off later. Back here there are some pegs, and let's see if these actually fit here. So I suppose you could put them here, but it doesn't really look all that great. So there's that. So yeah, I don't even care about that. So anyway, but there are two 5mm, well, I think they're 5mm pegs, right? Just like his hands are basically that. So we'll deal with these in just a minute. So let's talk about articulation on this guy. So the articulation it's actually pretty good. He can kind of do the squats here. He's got a lot of rhinoceros parts in the way, so he can do the squats. Is he stable? Yes, he is stable. So you can get him into certain poses. He's got like the ankle tilt, yeah, a little bit like foot rocking this way and backwards and forwards, but no real toe tilt or anything like that. So his arms are like on this butterfly joint, so you can get him doing all sorts of cool little things, you know, like that and that. They can bend all the way back, actually. It's part of transformation. That's pretty interesting. So his head, I think it's on a ball joint. It can go all the way around, look up, kind of look down, and be very expressive. This is a faux mouth. Yes, it's a fake mouth, everyone. So kind of like, I believe his feet here are these are rhinoceros feet, and they're kind of fake. They're not a part of the real one, and I don't know if that is an original design thing or a cue from the animation or anything like that. One thing that's really interesting, if you look at him from the top, he's kind of flat back here, and he's got lots of holes in him. So now this is supposed to just sit like this, and I find this to be a slightly interesting piece to transform. So anyway, yeah, but he does retain a lot of the character that you do see, I guess, in the Beast Wars and in the Kingdom animation. So that's what we got going on there. So I believe These might even be, are these transformed correctly? So these are supposed to kind of angle down and fit along this area. So I think that that's correct. Yeah, so, yeah, that looks about correct to me. So, but, or they can go up here and kind of like, okay, maybe that's a better way. So there you go. So that's kind of what it should look like. With these pieces kind of angled up there. And we'll talk a little bit about these when we transform it here in a minute. So, but that's what we got going on here. He's got the elbow bend. The wrists do not swivel. The thighs do swivel. And I think that's about it. He's got knee bends. So, and that's what we got. Now, the only other thing I can compare him with is this Nemesis Primal. So you can imagine like this being not purple and not a Predacon, maximal. So that's what he looks like there. And to compare him with, here's a Bumblebee from the Netflix line. And I guess, hey, why not? I have it just sitting here, so hey, here's G1 Optimus Prime. Looking great. Okay, let's go on ahead and get this guy transformed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these ready for to be stored in the beast mode. So what we do here is, if you take a look, there are holes on each side, and they actually peg into each other. But you want to peg them into each other in the way that these pegs on the outside line up. So you've got two small pegs, and then you got the two large pegs. So that's what it should look like. Set that aside. Now, let's see if we can't get this guy transformed. He is a little bit difficult to maneuver around, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull down this faux mouth. We're going to fold these in, and then we're going to shove that back in there. Okay. The next thing we want to do is kind of pull this back. It's on a double hinge. That's about the best you're going to get at the moment. Turn his head all the way around so that it faces this way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold these back. So if you look here, you can fold this entire thing. There's a peg. You can see this peg that goes through all this, that rod. So you're going to get that all the way up and in here. And this is the part that I'm not entirely thrilled about. This needs to go in here. There we go. And then it goes like this. But we're going to keep these out for the moment. We want those inside. So let's push this in here. Did you guys get a big fist? All right, here we go. All right, cool. All right. And then just kind of turn it like this, get it kind of ready here. Now the next thing we want to do is we're going to prep the last piece of the arms. And that is we're going to lift these up here. And then we're going to fold in the fists. And then we'll just close that up. And do the same thing on this side. All right, so we got that. Fold it in. Whoa, come back here. All right. And then close it up. Okay. And then if you want, you can kind of go on ahead and get these rhino feet facing forward, so swivel them this way. And that's what we're gonna work now with the rest of this part, which I find very fun. Okay. Oh, by the way, he does have waist swivel, but he is kind of hindered by some of these things here. So just FYI, he can't quite do it all because it's there. But it is a nice option. So anyway, back to the transformation. Let's work on this. So these panels up here, you can open them up for each leg. I'm going to split this just so it's easier to work with this. Now, what we want to do is, I believe we're going to take this and bend it at the knee area and get it kind of lined up like this. Pull this over like this so that this double joint goes here. And then we're going to kind of keep it like this. And now, do you see this little piece right here? You want to pull this out, and then we're going to fold it in. So this here, like this, okay? But this is not going to go it's probably going to go under like this. So you want this now to face like this. If you look at this other side, this rod is going this way. We want it to go that way. Okay, so let's work on this leg a little bit. We want to move this, and this is kind of the interesting part. We're going to move this at the same time here. So pull this out from the leg. And then what I like to do is I take this foot here, and we're going to fold it out like this. We're going to turn it inwards so that it's lined up like this. And you see this little tab right here, and there is a slot in there. We're going to actually try to get it in there by pushing it forward, and then we push it forward and make sure it kind of locks into that little slot that's in the inside of his leg there. So you'll know you've done it correctly if this tab here looks like it could go into the slot. So that's your clue. Okay, so on this part here, we're going to open this up here, and then we're going to unfold this right here. I think I can do this. Yes, so let's do that way. All right, so now we've got this in place and that in place. Let's make sure this is lifted up, because we're going to now try to put this entire thing under here. And this is where it's just we gotta kind of force it there. Now we're going to fold this, by the way. In the same time, this whole thing was going to fold down, okay? And let me just show you something else. There is a tab here and a slot there, and I think you will get it lined up. But there's two other tabs, and you've got two other kind of like recessed areas where those slots go. So that's the object, is to try to get this under here, and then get these to line up and collapse into each other. So I find this little panel to be a bit of a pain. So you want to be careful when you do this. Don't want to stress your plastic out. But there. Okay, so we got that there, and then we have this here. So I've got that tabbed in, and then this here, we can worry about this little piece later. But if you can get it lined up and pushed in like that, that's pretty good. And you might have just a bit of overlap there. So, all right, so now we're going to take this piece here and fold it down so that it kind of matches all that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is what we'll have. Oh, by the way, one more thing. We're going to pull the rhino leg out, and then when you get it to here, swivel it 180 and then pull that down. So that should complete this side. We're not going to button it up until we're done the other side, though. And then we'll get to that. So, and because we need to work underneath this panel right here, and it needs to be kind of loose and not snapped in yet. Okay, so let's do the same thing on this side, hopefully. Oh, by the way, these panels here, they do eventually, you can move these this way. So that's the purpose of them. So in robot mode, these go back, and when you get into Rhino mode, that's where those go. They go forward. So opening this up again, and then we're going to do this here, where we kind of fold this down, and it's like a dual motion here, right? So, all right, so, and then we want to pull this up on that double joint, that double hinge joint, open this up, turn it this way, I believe. Let's see here, this way here, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so, and then we're gonna put this, remember there's that tab right there and the slot on the inside. So let's get those lined up. I think that's how that works. I hope it's how it works. Okay, so, okay. All right. There. That's it. Good. All right, remember I told you if this looks like it can fold in, you've got it in the right spot. Okay, so now let's finish this by now taking this, folding this down. Oh wait, first of all, let's make sure this piece is in the right area. So go ahead and push that down like that. That should help you right there. once this gets lined up, we can kind of align it in the right spot. So there. Okay. So now we're going to fold this in, and we're going to get this folded down into this. Make sure you pull this out as much as you can. Right there. Okay, so let's get this underneath. Ugh, there we go. And great. Okay, so we got that. And all right, let's pull this over, and then collapse this leg down like that. See if we can't push these together. And now we have that kind of looking like that. By the way, if these kind of fell down, then that's what happens. But yeah, so these are like this. Now this is we can move these forward now. Oh, by the way, let's work on this the rest of this leg. Open up this, flip this out, and then pull his leg out like we did the other one. Just not a lot of room to work on this. Okay, here we go. And then turn this around. And then down. Okay, now we can kind of pull this over and cover this here. Now we have those, and we got the two parts of the rhino butt right there. Now, you've got these panels that are open that were from the legs, so that should be good. And then what we want to do is we want to take this and then pull that over. Now, before we close this all the way up, remember these? So there is a place to tab these in. And I think that if you take a look here, there's a hole right there. There's a hole right there. That's where these little small pegs go. So open it up. I don't like to put this in until you're at least to this, you know, till you're almost done getting them into rhino mode. So let's go ahead, turn that in there. And there's that one and that one. And you should be able to just squeeze his legs together. And you should be able to peg into both of those for weapon storage. Okay, close these up, button up the butt, and there. So now you can see it's tabbed in, and then close this leg, close these panels up here, and they will tab together. And there it is. Okay, just tighten it up and try to get these straightened out the best you can. Like here and here, and then on this side, same thing. All right, and there we got it. I think we got it. So squeeze it all together, and there you have Rhinox in his rhino mode. And he looks like a pretty decent little rhino. Lots of panels to cover up all of his robot bits, and proper weapon storage. That's what he looks like from the underside. And you get a little bit of swivel here, but not much. And then you also have a little bit of, like, you can have him kind of maybe like running, walking, but he really doesn't have that much. So you can kind of maybe get him doing something like this. Whoops, like that. So, but no other real pieces of articulation outside of that. So that's what it's going. Now, if you push this here, you can open his mouth. Cool. So there it is. There's Rhinox. Anyway, so what do I think of this figure? Well, this figure is pretty interesting. I think it's got a kind of a the transformation is a little difficult, and to get him into Rhino mode. He makes a very decent robot, and I think that if you're a big fan of Beast Wars, that it will be a good piece to your collection. Anyway, so yeah, if you can find him in stores or online, look both places. Your selection may vary. It just depends on what you can find. So thanks for joining me on the channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to watch more of my videos, please subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.